Okay, I think we are live, at least I hope we are. Let's double check on my dashboard here and make sure we're good to go. And yeah, I think we're in good shape. Yep, we are. We are functional. Excellent. So we're going to start this stream in just a minute or two. Let me just go live on Amazon here. And what we're going to be doing today, little office hours kind of thing. I'm having a Hershey Kiss right now. So it's holiday season officially. Delicious. So hang on one second. I have a little bit of trouble with my Amazon stream here. Hopefully that's something you cannot live stream at this time. Oh no. Well, we may have to wait a second, folks, because the Amazon live streaming thing seems to be not functional. I'm having one of these days today where like nothing is working. I wonder if they have too many people streaming on Amazon. Looks like that might be the case. Let me see if I can get this started here. Let's try this one more time. Well, let's see what's going on with this. Well, I hope you all are doing well. I'm eating some chocolate. And today what we're doing, this has been one of these weeks. Cedar Lake is here. And I can't seem to get anything to work right. So hi there, Cedar Lake. So everything's just been not working properly today. And so I think what could be happening with Amazon here is maybe they've got the that Amazon AWS thing might be still an issue. Let's see. Yeah, I can't seem to get a stream going here. So give me a second, everybody. I'm just trying to get my stuff working. I might cut this short because I like to do these on Amazon. There's a reason I do this stuff on Amazon. So I might actually just wait a bit on this and see what happens. Constantine says, what a beast. Yeah, this thing, I saw this at CES and it intrigued me because it has all the ports that I'm looking for. And so this was something that was interesting to me because it's got, look at all these USB ports it's got 5 of them. There's always been like a compromise with these docks. And then like one dock had something the other ones didn't have, So this one has got, 5 gigabit ports here. Now granted, they're all in the same bus, so they're not going to be, they're sharing the bandwidth, but, it's good for keyboards and printers and stuff. Got your Ethernet. And then on the display side, what's neat about these is that it has a really neat concept with the display ports, because typically these docks have had, if they had 2 outputs, they had one that was, display port and the other HDMI, or only display port or only HDMI. This one has both. Now you can't hook up 4 displays to it, but what you can do is you can hook up one or the other. So I could have, I'm going to recycle my Amazon stream real quick and see what's going on here. I can't get on Amazon right now for some reason. So let's take a look and see what happens here. So that's what's intriguing to me about this. And then you've got on the other side, 2 10 gigabit ports over here. It's 96 watts, so you get all the power going. And by the way, this is on sale on Amazon right at this moment. And and you can click on the link, although it's not going to bring you to my stream because Amazon is not working at the moment. Let's see. Yes, if something went wrong, you cannot live stream at this time. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to duplicate this. And let's see if it lets me start on this one. Oops, now it like completely messed up. What is going on here with this? So let's see if it lets me start now. Something went wrong. Give me a second. I'm just trying to get this thing working here. Let's see if I can figure out what's going on, because it is taking my stream, but it's not letting me start it. So yeah, so this one looks interesting to me. So that's why I was taking a look at that. So what else we got here? We got some more folks. Let me put some more of these up here. I think it's, oops, now what's going on with my keyboard? Everything is not working. There we go, okay. Exatech wants to know, would this work with Windows or Linux? It should work with anything that supports Thunderbolt. So if you have a Thunderbolt compatible Linux device, it should work just fine. NCS Trev says hello from Maine. Hello to you. Frank Castle says hello. Matthew Lear is wondering, with the QNAP 10 gigabits Thunderbolt 3 adapters, will they work on the M1 Mac? Well, as it turns out, I don't have a QNAP adapter, but I do have a Sabrent 10 gigabit Thunderbolt adapter, and it works, and I don't have it hooked up right now, but it does work great with the M1 Mac. So yes, the Thunderbolt Ethernet does work. I have noticed with it, we might just do a Q&A here if I can't get my Amazon stream going. I have noticed on the Thunderbolt stuff on this little Mac that it does have some problems in that it will sometimes just not recognize the network adapter. So like every couple of days I'm rebooting it, and I'm guessing the Thunderbolt thing gets locked up. So that's been the only issue I've really had with it, but it works. So hopefully it's all good. Yeah, so it does work, and it should work fine. The one thing with the Thunderbolt Mac here is that it doesn't work with two displays. I think it's only a 2-lane Thunderbolt connection on these first round of Macs, so hopefully the MacBook Pro will have more support. City of Fraser had to get a council meeting going on all new equipment. That is always nerve-wracking when you have like a live stream to do and you have equipment you haven't used before. You know, I like to practice a lot before I do things, but you never know what's going to happen with it. So I know that feeling. Irvin here says that AWS has been down. Yeah, it's been down all day. Actually, my daughter does piano lessons on Zoom, and she's had some issues. So I'm guessing my problem here with this relates to that. So we might unbox it, and then I'll do more of the testing a little later. I've just had one of these weeks where, nothing bad, but like I've had so many things like that normally just go very smoothly, not go smoothly. So for example, and first of all, I've got a nice greeting here from Chuck. Happy Thanksgiving Eve, and happy Thanksgiving to you. What happened was I got in 2 new Tiger Lake PCs, and one of them is from Lenovo, the other one is from HP. And my experience in the past has been that Tiger Lake, or Intel graphics in general, when you had like the G7 i5, it was the same GPU as the i7. With Tiger Lake now, the i5 GPU has slightly less graphics cores from what I'm reading, like 80 versus 96 or something. So I got in this Lenovo machine that's an i7, and I thought both of them had 12 gigs of RAM, and actually just the Lenovo did. The Lenovo with the 12 gigs has the i7, but it was running at the same speed as the i5, and I thought there was something wrong with both of them. So I've been spending all morning like trying to figure out what's going on. Did some research and finally realized that they have two different connections there. Matthew Lear says, yeah, so here, let me pull up. This is exactly my thought with this. This would be the ultimate dock for me, especially if it had the Thunderbolt pass-through and 10 gigabit Ethernet, because all the docks, look, up until a couple of weeks ago, I wouldn't have cared much, right? Because I didn't have that fast of a connection. But now, of course, we're on this 2 gigabit thing from Comcast, which, by the way, does not have a data cap. So that is good for me. So I can stream all I want here and not have a problem. But I need faster Ethernet because this gigabit here is only going to give me half of my available connection, right? So that should be a big deal there. Let's see here. Let's see. Erwin says, American Texas Instruments, USB Type-C display port alt mode. Yes, so this will do USB-C display port alt mode. And if you hook it up, so this is what's cool about this, is that it works with both. So if you hook it up to USB-C, it will allow you to use it. And it's not going to be as feature-rich, though. So it doesn't support I think it goes like 4K 30 max, and you could do two 1080p 60 displays on USB-C. Now, if you connect it to Thunderbolt, you've got two 4K 60s. So that's the big deal there. Ryan says, thank you. You're welcome. JFZ wants to know, does it work with the new Macs? Can you use two monitors? It works with the new Macs, but the new Macs only support one monitor. So if you have the Intel Mac, you can do two. Esben wants to know, does it support DisplayPort 1.4? Let us see. There's a whole bunch of specs here on the back, so let's zoom in on that, and we'll take a look and see what it says. This is a bummer, I can't get my Amazon thing working. So, display. See, this is all wrong here. Oh, I see, it's telling me USB-C host, okay. See, this comes back to this USB-C stuff, right? So take a look at all these different things. So if we have a Thunderbolt 3 host, we can have 2x extended displays up to 4K 60. USB data performance, USB 10 gigabits per second. On front, 1x USB-C and 1x USB-A. That's on the US. Sorry, let me go back to the displays. I was reading the whole thing off. It's just been one of those weeks. 2x extended display. Okay, so if you're on Thunderbolt, two 4K displays, 60 hertz. Now, if you are on a single display, I would imagine you could get the higher refresh rate at a lower resolution. It doesn't list all the different resolutions here. Now, if you are on an MFDP USB-C host, non-Apple, you can do interesting. 2x extended displays up to 4K 60 hertz, DisplayPort 1.4 host with DSC. You can do 2x extended displays up to 1440p at 60 hertz, DisplayPort 1.4, no DSC. You can do 2x extended displays up to 60 hertz, DisplayPort 1.2. So it does support 1.4. And then if you're on a Mac, the 12-inch MacBook or the iPad Pro, one display 4K 30. And actually what I have to hook up to this is that new whatchamacallit, the new Surface Laptop Go, which I will have a review of up later tonight. So you'll be able to see all of that. And yeah, it doesn't look like Amazon's going to be working here, which is a bummer. So here's the deal with this, everybody. This is on sale at Amazon. So let me see what happens when, yeah, it looks like nobody's live on Amazon right now. They must be down completely. Let me go to the Amazon page here and just make sure that this link is working. Yeah, so if you go to the link that I have and click on the Plugable dock, you get, whoa. So they're giving you $50 off. Here, I'll pull this up on the screen here. $50 off. And it's already at a lower price than was listed on their website. So it's like $249. Yeah, it's a good deal. So click on that, because that would be, that's a good deal. So today's the day to buy it if you're looking for one. And that's why I was trying to stream this on Amazon, because I thought the Amazon customers would find this of value. All right, well, we'll keep trying. And I'm just going to roll forward. And maybe I'll just stream my shooting of the review on Amazon when we do that. So right now the kids are out of the house. I have time. Not much time, but I have time. Cedar Lake wants to know, any recommendations for a portable power strip with 65-watt USB-C power delivery? I don't know of one that is a power strip. Some of those GAN chargers might be worth looking at, those smaller ones. But I don't have a power strip with that much USB-C PD, but I would like to find one. So if there is one, let me know. Hans Van Buren wants to know if we're going to test it with the M1. Absolutely. It is right here on the desk. We're going to plug it in just a second. Let's take a look here. This is, yeah, Shadowban says they should teach classes for people who want a PhD in USB formats. I agree. It is a nightmare. Clyde is asking, do I need to boost the signal by external means if the unit is on the other side of the house? Yeah, so it's probably not going to be feasible to have this thing on the other side of the house. Just be aware of that. It's got to be close, because this is Thunderbolt, so it's pretty short runs. Although I think Corning, weren't they selling like fiber optic Thunderbolt cables a while ago? I think they might have been. So this is, this is like Zachary here really poses the problem with USB in this day and age. So he says you can only use 2 displays with no Thunderbolt 3 when you use DisplayPort. So according to this, you can do 2 displays on a non-Apple USB-C device if your host device over the alt mode, it has to support DisplayPort 1.4. Now, if you have DSC on your, I have no idea what any of this stuff means. If you have DSC on your device, then you can do 2 4K 60 displays. I don't know what that does to the data rate of everything else. If you don't have DSC, then the max you're going to get is 1440p. And if you don't have 1.4 at all, then the best you're going to do is 2 displays at 1080p 60. And that all depends on whether or not your particular device supports, this is what's so tricky about this stuff. Your device has to support the display output to begin with. So there's Windows computers with Thunderbolt that don't support 2 external displays plus the laptop display, right? So there's all of that. This question from Carbo Ixolated, does DisplayPort 1.4 push 1080p 120 hertz? I think so. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it does, because upstairs I have a dock using DisplayPort that's doing 100 hertz with that wide thing, so I'm pretty sure it supports that. Okay. And yeah, here's another good comment. Ryan says, I'm fairly sure I've killed a few external 2.5-inch hard drives recently by trying to use them without enough power. Docks seem to require laptop to power. You know, it depends on the machine. So typically, in my experience, and we'll see how big the, actually we can find out exactly how big this is. So this dock, it's funny how much we can do with just staring at the specs here on the back of this thing, right? This dock has 170 watts going in. Now about 100 of that, or 96, is going to the computer to charge it at the maximum. And so there is a budget of power available for the devices that you plug in. But it varies based on the dock, you know, so if you have a weaker power supply and the laptop is charging and running at full blast, that would certainly make a difference there. It looks like Cedar Lake found one that does 45 watts of power delivery. So we're getting there. It's got to get 20 more watts there. You found what you're looking for. He says Anchor's got one of those. Yeah, yep, this is exactly what I'm talking about. What is the difference in performance between Thunderbolt 3, which is a separate chip, and USB 4 and Thunderbolt 4, which is built? So here's the crazy thing. So I thought Thunderbolt 4 was like dramatically different. And as it turns out, Thunderbolt 4 is not all that different than Thunderbolt 3. So even though, this is, again, hear me out, folks, my new M1 MacBook Air here, Thunderbolt 3, except it supports those multi-port hubs that Thunderbolt 4 supports, even though it's not Thunderbolt 4. And so the Other World Computing guys say that the Thunderbolt 3 on the MacBook is the same implementation as Thunderbolt 4 for those purposes. And then Thunderbolt 3 is different than USB 4 because USB 4 incorporates the Thunderbolt 3 specs. However, it only is required to do the 20 gigabit one. The 40 gigabit speed is optional. I have a video on this, and just watch it, because it's getting worse, you know, as far as consumers understanding any of this stuff, and it's been incredibly frustrating. So let's take this thing out of the box, because I figured, you know, we're here, we may as well do this. I was hoping this would have been a great Amazon stream, but Amazon is still down, for me at least. So let me just try to do one more cycle of the video. I have a feeling the AWS outage is impacting, because I'm sure they're using AWS for their streaming. So let me just try sending the video back to Amazon real quick here. I will say, though, that it is great to finally have a connection that works. Thank you, Comcast. And it also happens to be a connection that doesn't have any data caps, so that's even better. All right, so let's unbox this thing, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, they're selling this thing at $50 off right now. So if you go to the link on the screen and click on the dock, you will get a deal. And I'm not just doing it today. It just happened to be the deal today. I was planning on doing this regardless, right? Because it was on my list of to-do things this week. So here's the dock. It's actually pretty nice. It feels metal. Yeah, it's metal. And I saw this way back in January at CES, right as I was getting infected with some crazy virus there. I was like, oh, this is great. People are going to love this one. Because, again, you get 100 watts back to the computer, and then all the ports. So that's that. So then on the other part here, now here's what's neat about these docks. So this one, like I said, this dock is Thunderbolt 3 and USB Type-C. And even though this is a Thunderbolt cable, if you plug the dock into a USB-C computer with this cable, it's still going to work. Because I discovered that with we looked at a StarTech dock recently, and that one worked with that. Here's your little manuals and stuff. And then the power supply, look how big the power supply is. And the reason is that this is a 170 watt power supply. So 100 watts for the computer, and then you've got another 70 watts of budget for, wow, this thing's beefy. And then you got some budget for the other devices that you plug in. So it's got a nice base here. So you could have it sit, it can sit vertically or horizontally. And then we have the power cable. So that's all your stuff there. It looks like the UPS man is here. The FedEx guy is dropping off something, so I may have to run upstairs and grab that real quick. We'll jump off that bridge when we come to it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to hook it up and kind of do an initial run through with it. So I think what we'll do is we'll try the MacBook first and see what it does. Oh, okay, so Henning here has an explanation as to what DSC is. It's called Display Stream Compression, which is probably how they're able to get those displays working, two 4K 60s. And he says it should do 4K 240, although I wonder if there's a bandwidth limitation on the USB-C side. So we'll have to see what that says. And I'll give credit for Zachary here, too, who chimed in on that. Yeah, I think my stream runs like 30 seconds behind real time here as far as when these things pop up. And again, I'm just trying to get my Amazon stream going. It looks like they're having some difficulties. That's a bummer, because I was looking forward to doing this one on Amazon today. Let me just go over my thing here and keep an eye on that. Okay, so what we're going to try here is we're going to do the Mac with the M1. And then we're going to do my new Surface Laptop Go, which is tonight's review, actually. And then we will also try out DeX, because I've got this Samsung phone. This is a Galaxy S8, I think. Is that what this is? Yeah, Galaxy S8. And this thing, I only use it for testing DeX, because people want to know about that. So we'll plug this in. And again, huge power supply. Look at the size of this thing, 170 watts, because you want to power the computer and the rest of it. And so this will be good for, a MacBook Pro. I have found, though, if you've got like a big beefy gaming laptop, it's going to say, thanks but no thanks to the power. You're going to want to use your existing power supply. All right, so we're going to situate the dock as so, and then we're going to plug some stuff into it. So I've got my HDMI cable here. I figured I would do HDMI and just see if it can handle 60 on that. This monitor is a 4K monitor. So we're going to plug in Here, I'll give you the overhead view here. We're going to plug in HDMI into display 1. Pop that in there. And then we're going to connect up my Ethernet cable, wherever that went. Let's see if I can find it on the floor here. I have so many cables. So let's hook that up real quick here. Yeah, my office has become a disaster yet again. So you know what it is? I have like just enough time to get everything done, you know, as far as the videos go, and then it's like dinner and kid time, and like tonight's gonna be one of those bath nights, you know, so we've got baths to do and everything else, so crazy. Okay, so we've got that all plugged in, and now we're gonna take out the Mac. Here, let me zoom my camera out here and see what we get. Oh, I should try a Chromebook also. I've got my daughter's Chromebook upstairs. Maybe I'll grab that in a minute too. I found the Chromebooks don't tend to work well with the docks. At least so I have the Pixelbook Go, and that doesn't seem to work very well with it. By the way, I should mention that the dock came in free of charge from Plugable, but they're having this deal today on Amazon. And I'm not trying to push you there, but if you're looking for a dock, you know, I know it's going to work because a dock is a dock. But they're selling these things with a $50 coupon today. So you can get this for like $249, which I think is a pretty good deal. And it checks all the boxes because it'll do 100 watts over the Thunderbolt cable here. And so, I have a dock upstairs on my secondary office, so when I go upstairs, I just plug it in, and it's good. Nick here is asking, does it support 3 monitors? No, it only supports 2, plus whatever you have on your device. And if you had another thing to plug in, you could just use one of the other Thunderbolt ports. Okay, so now we are going to plug in my Mac here to the Thunderbolt. And we'll listen for it. Yep, okay, so it's charging. And then the display should light up here in just a second. Yep, there it goes. So the display shifted here. Yep, and we've got it. So I can take, see, okay, so that works. Now let's take a look at a couple things I want to look at actually. So what we're going to look at first is the network. And it looks as though the network here is good. And I think, see, the problem with this display is that it never tells me what we're connected at, so I have to guess unless I look at the display settings. But the good news here is that it is showing up. Now, I'll zoom in a minute. This is a USB, it's running the network over the USB bus, and typically the way these things work is that all of the USB ports on the back are shared. Here, I'll give you the overhead. They're all shared on the same bus. So if you were like moving big files over on the USB, you might see a little dip in network performance and vice versa. But it is a nice dock. This is probably like the dock that I would, if I was buying a dock right now, I would probably get this one because it has so many ports on it. So the back of it has 5 USB ports. You got 2 more on the front. The only thing it doesn't have is Thunderbolt pass-through. So that's my only complaint with it. Brian Parker. Brian Parker is here. Office hurricanes. Yeah, my office is a disaster. And he knows the pain. He's another basement dweller, by the way. He's got an audio studio in his basement. So that is that. One Man Show says M1, yes, it only supports 1 external monitor, but I have more things that I can connect to it, so we will take a look at that. Now what I'm going to do real quick here is I'm going to go into my system report, and let me zoom in because we can get an idea from the system report how this thing is configured. So let me zoom in on this for you. And let's wait for it to focus. Focus, focus, focus. Hang on, I'll get this fixed. Just do my hand here, that usually gets it coerced into focusing. May have to turn on manual focus in a second. Let's see if I can get it to... Sometimes these cameras are really finicky, and today it's being finicky. So let me get into manual mode here, and we will focus this sucker. Auto manual. That's auto exposure. Where's the manual? I haven't turned this on manual focus in a while. There we go. Okay, so let me get this situated. There we go. Okay. Again, a little bit tighter maybe. Let's see. Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted to show you. Okay. So here's my MacBook Air, right? We've got 8 cores, all the good stuff. This is the new M1. And let's take a look at the Thunderbolt section here. And so what this will do, let me get this off screen here. What this will do is it'll give you an idea as to what you have connected. So here on Thunderbolt bus 0, it's picked up the dock, which is what we want. Now you'll notice there's no other devices on here because it looks as though most of them are USB devices. So if we click on USB, and what you can see here is we've got the Apple host controller, and now we've got what I think is the dock's stuff. So it's got one USB 3.2 hub at 10 gigabits per second, and then, and I'm not sure how many ports this hub has, but hanging off of that port is another hub running at 5 gigabits per second. And I would venture to say that this one is probably for those 5 ports on the back, or the front maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. But it's hard to say until we start plugging stuff in. But you can see here that the LAN adapter is attached to one of those other hubs. So it looks like there's some bifurcated USB. So there's 2 USB, this is really interesting. There's 2 USB hubs on this because the LAN is sitting off a different one. And it's also showing some USB storage, which is interesting because I don't think this has any onboard storage unless it's, actually, you know what that is? Okay, so I'm talking out loud here, but what we've got here is a hub. We've got the LAN, and it looks like it's put the LAN and the USB storage, which is the card reader. So there's a card reader on the front of this thing. So you have an SD card reader right here. So it's got those 2 on there. So it looks like that's on one hub, and those are running at 5 gigabits. And then I'm guessing then the other hub here is likely the USB ports on the back. So that might be good. They may have separated those out that way. And then there's a USB 2 hub for the audio. So there is a audio jack on the front here. It's just audio. Actually looks like it's in and out. It's a headset jack. So that's running on a USB 2.0 connection. And so it looks like they've bifurcated things pretty well because the front ports here are 10 gigabit ports. So that's it. Although my gut is, actually not my gut, my knowledge, right? If we look at this here, you can see that the parent device is a 10 gigabit hub. So there is a total of 10 gigabits of USB bandwidth on this. And on USB-C, you're sharing that with the display, with display over alt mode. So everything on here is sharing the 10 gigabit per second bus. However, the devices on the USB ports have their own hub versus the LAN and the USB card reader, if that makes sense. And hopefully that makes sense. So that's how that works. So that's cool. All right, so we have that. I wonder if we can figure out what we've got on displays here. I'm just going to check Amazon again and see if we can start going here. Give me 1 second here. Preview and go live. Let's try this again. See if Amazon's waking up here. Still down. It must be the AWS thing that's causing that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so we know what's going on here now. I'm just going to put some notes into my little note taker thing just to have all this figured out. So give me 1 second here. I got this new little app called TOT, T-O-T, for the Mac, which has really been handy. It's like a little notepad, but it works everywhere. It's like iCloud synced up. So, all right, so the bus, 10 gigs, to 5 gigs, one for USB ports, the other for the card reader and the network. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is run a quick little speed test. One of my network speed tests. Now we have, remember, I have a 2 gigabit per second connection, but this device is only running at a gigabit. And I'll show you the speed here when we're done running it. I used to run an iPerf test, but now that my internet connection's fast enough, I can just run a straight up internet speed test, because I'll get close to knowing whether or not we're at a gigabit speed or not. And it looks like it's running at that speed. It's going to let this run real quick. It puts my IP address on screen, so I'm just going to wait for it to finish, and I'll show you the screenshot when it's done. It's interesting. Now, upstream bandwidth is a little limited on it. It's not running. Let me run this again off of a different server. All right, so let me change the server real quick. And let's try this again and see what we get. Because it was giving me the gigabit down, but the upstream was a little under. So what I found ever since getting this gigabit connection is that when you're connecting up to these remote servers, not all of them can actually send you gigabits of data over the internet at the right speed. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, it looks like pretty consistent. So I'm going to have to run the iPerf test later, because I am running behind a true gigabit connection on the upstream. And I've seen this before. So let me just take a screenshot here, and I'll show you what I just got. So that's what I got. And actually, I saw this on both servers that I connected to. So I was getting about what I expected. The other server was doing a little bit better, but the upload was a little on the slower side. So I just want to double check the display settings now and see what we have on that front. So let's go back to displays, displays. And this, by the way, is hooked up to my M1 Mac. And I forgot the process here. I mean, it looks like it's 60 hertz, but I just want to confirm that. I think if I hold down the Option key or the Command key or something and hit scaled, let's see. There we go, yeah. All right, so yeah, so that's the 4K, the true 4K, and then the 1080p scaling is 4K but scaled, right? It's like it's the equivalent of. But I forgot how to get the actual hertz that it's running at. But it feels like it's running at 60 hertz. I just want to see if there's an option for displays on here, graphics and displays. Yeah, here we go. Perfect. Okay. So this is the display we're connected to, and we're running at 60 hertz. So it's doing what I expected. The battery's charging. We have the network adapter working on it, so all in on the M1 Mac here, no problem. Seems to be working just fine. So now what I want to do, oh geez, this looks like the Amazon's definitely down for a little bit. So again, it's on sale. Help out Amazon. They're having trouble today. So if we go over to Amazon, $50 coupon. Look at that. And so that's a good price, I think. So there we go. Okay, so now what I want to do is hook up I have that new Windows device. And Amazon's up, but the live streaming is down. So that's what's going on. So, because it would be really bad if they were down today with all of this holiday shopping, right? Because it starts today. So now I want to connect up this little guy. So if this is the review you're going to see tonight, this is the Surface Go, or Surface Laptop Go. Now this is not Thunderbolt, this is USB-C. So let's see what happens when we connect that up. And I'm just going to get my camera repositioned here and get this all good to go here. And this one, you'll see this tonight, this one has that Surface breakaway connector. And then it also has a USB Type-C port. But this is not Thunderbolt. And I'm really impressed with this, actually. So let's plug this up real quick. And again, I'm just trying to get the lay of the land for this and figure out how everything's working. And I do need to make a note to run the iPerf test. Maybe I'll do that in a little while. Okay, so let's hook this up. Let me boot it up first and get it going. And this weighs like 2.5 pounds. It's a little thicker than I would have liked. I was hoping this would be like the Windows equivalent of the MacBook 12-inch. It is a 12-inch display. It's a little bit heavier and a little bit thicker. I'm almost feeling like I could have done without the USB 3 port and a second USB-C. But, you know, what can you do? It's got a nice little fingerprint reader on it. Not a backlit keyboard, though. So that's my only gripe with the keyboard, is that it doesn't have a backlight on it. All right, so let's plug it in, and let's see what happens. Okay, so there we go. So plugged it in. Power is going in, and it's doing the display. Now, if I am not mistaken, and this is an HDMI connection, so let's see what we can get. Now, what it's doing right now is just mirroring the displays, so what I'm going to do is change this over to extend. And it's going to think about that for a second. There it goes. Keep. Okay. All right, so there we go. So if I go to display 2, I really love these backgrounds that they do on Microsoft. Let me go to advanced display settings. Okay, so oddly, this is weird. It has the this display at 24 hertz. We're going to switch it to the max, which is 30. And what I might do is try to find a DisplayPort cable just to see if that changes the dynamic at all. Because HDMI can be a little more finicky. But the max we're getting, because this is a USB-C device, is that. And let's check the network to see if that, yep, it's connected to Ethernet. So it detected the Ethernet properly. So we're good there. What's that do? Oh, it's a meeting thing. Okay. So let me find a DisplayPort cable now. And let's see if we can. So I know I have DisplayPort cables in here. What's this one? That's a DisplayPort. Hopefully on the other end is it? No, it's one of those things. Darn it. Let's see. And the other problem I have is that I have many DisplayPort cables. I just don't have many right here in front of me. And the other thing that happens is I go out and I buy a new cable, only to find one that I never knew I had, right? So, all right, let me go find that other cable, see if we can get that hooked up real quick. And I just started organizing things too, so now I have no idea where anything is, because if it's organized, I can't find it. So I'm going to put this in the new bin that I have. So I have a DisplayPort. Oh, I have a DisplayPort drawer here. How about that? Okay, so this is going to work out just fine. So here's my DisplayPort cable. I knew I had more than what I saw in that bin there. And so we're going to hook up the DisplayPort cable. And I'm going to detach the HDMI from the dock and attach the DisplayPort. There we go. So you might see me streaming this tomorrow when I shoot the video for this. Okay, new external. Do you want to switch? Yes. And okay, there we go. So now we're on DisplayPort. And what I'm going to do is do exactly what we did a minute ago, which is extend these displays. Keep that. And I bet you we're going to see exactly what we saw before. Yep. So on this laptop, this is USB-C. So the max we're able to do is 4K 30 out of either DisplayPort or excuse me, HDMI. So Nick here says, let me pull up his comment. Finding a dock that supports 3 monitors for my MacBook, but I suppose I can plug in the third one. Yeah, I think the extra cable is how you want to do that. Zachary Webb wants to know, which model is this? Yes, so this is, this review is going up tonight, by the way. This is the Surface Laptop Go. This is the middle one. Oh, look at that. What happened? It just, did it get jiggled? This is the Surface Laptop Go. This has the i5. I guess they all have an i5 processor. This is the one with 8 gigs of RAM. And usually I buy like the lowest priced one, but I think this is the right one to get, the middle one. So this has 8 gigs of RAM. The entry level one only has 4. And I bought this to replace my Surface Go tablet. Because when I saw this come out, I was like, oh, this would be better for me. Because it has a more powerful processor. It's a regular 10th generation i5. It's not the fanless thing. And it's, it's more functional for me. So I went with this one as this is my desk, my studio desk Windows computer is what I use this for. And Handquake has a good comment about the display that I've got here. Yeah, I bought this display about 2 years ago. And all of this stuff that I've got on the table is linked on the Amazon link that you see there. Unfortunately, we can't get the stream working because Amazon's AWS stuff is causing trouble today. But this display, the reason why people don't like it is because it's not HDR, but it's a beautiful 4K display. If you're just looking for 4K, I think it's great. And I use it just because it's small and it fits on my desk. And of course, we were getting a lot of 4K stuff in, so that's worked. Eric's Variety Channel is here. He's recovering from dental surgery. Sorry you had to go through that today. I was supposed to get a crown, and then my daughter got quarantined. She's fine. Everybody's fine. Nobody was sick. We just had a contact. And I decided to put off my crown for a few weeks until this dies down again, I think. Let's wait for the vaccine. Vaccine's right around the corner. I'm going to wait till then. I'm in no hurry to get a crown. So, good stuff. Stan Sprinkle says this one has the faster storage. Correct. Yes, this one is the faster storage. Yep. So it has that. Okay, cool. So that works. All right. So we're going to pop that out real quick. But I'm really, look, you got to have like your expectations set in the right place for this. But this is a really nice Windows laptop. I really like it. I like the color. I like the weight. I like the display. Like everything about it I like. And you will hear me talk about it this evening. Unlike other Surface devices, it doesn't have magnesium. So this is aluminum. And the bottom is like this plastic glass composite material. And I'm guessing that's to lighten the load up a bit. But it's going to work great on my desk. Oh, and the other thing, it runs Ubuntu. Yep, boots right up. The problem is that after I booted Ubuntu up on it, it worked fine, but then it zapped my BitLocker drive, and I had to go download the key from Microsoft. All right, so let's try, we're going to try Dex now. I got to use my irises to unlock this thing. Okay, so now we're going to do Dex. What do you think, folks? Think Dex is going to work? Let's see. All right, so we'll plug that in. And let's see. Something's happening. Oh, there we go. Now, it didn't ask me about Dex, though, so I think I have to go in here and enable something. It did work once before. Let me see if I can figure out, if I can remember how to do this. The last time I used this was like months ago on another review. But it does work. I mean, look at that. We're exporting, we got the display going out to it. Let me look for Dex. Ah, Dex Home. All right, it's running right now, so that's not what I'm looking for. Hang on, let's see. Okay, let's see what's going on with this. I'm just trying to get Dex working on this thing. It does work. I've used Dex before. HDMI mode, here we go. Let's go to that. HDMI mode. Okay, we're going to enable Dex now. And let's see what happens. And I've got another of my little keyboards here that I can hook up to it. Oh, where did that dongle go? I lost the dongle. Darn it. I guess I don't have a thing to, okay. Let's see. I may have to find a mouse to plug into it if it works. Yep, there it goes. Dex. How about that? So I just need to get a little mouse hooked up to this real quick, just so I could do a neat little demo kind of thing. And I think this is still, yep, here it is. I still had it plugged into my Mister. Oh, and I think I actually was able to secure myself a, this might not be the right one, let's see. I have like, yep, this is it. Okay, perfect, so here we go. I'm just gonna record a little B-roll here just for the heck of it. So we got our phone, and we'll just go hit the internet here. Agree to all this junk. Yeah, look at that. We could watch ourselves live, right, as we do stuff. Oh, live event playback is not supported on this client. Okay. Let's go to NASA. My favorite website to visit is NASA. I'll tell you what, this thing is pretty fast. I haven't used Dex all that much, but this is pretty good. And this is the S8, so it's not the most up-to-date, phone that's out there. But now it's slowing down a little bit. And I think maybe my batteries just died in the keyboard, or it locked up, one or the other. Something just died here. Let's see. There it goes. Yeah, it works. So Dex works. Just gonna make a note of that. Yeah, I think I might try to record this B-roll one more time just to get it a little bit more smoother. Yeah, the only issue I'm having, and I don't know if maybe my batteries are dying in this keyboard, that it could be the case. I don't think I've replaced these batteries ever. Yeah, I think these batteries are dead. Let me go grab some batteries real quick. Either that or it's locking up, one or the other, so this will be a good test of that. Let's grab that real quick. But yeah, this is a good dock. I think it's worth the price point. And the last thing I want to try is just a 2 display setup, which I will do in a minute. I had 2 batteries over here somewhere. Here they are. The batteries in these Logitech keyboards last for so long, you forget that they're in them until they die. I don't think I've ever replaced the batteries in this particular keyboard before. I think it was still on the original set. This is like, if you need like a quick and easy keyboard, this is the best $25 you'll ever spend. I mean, these are just amazingly useful. Okay, so let me try this again here. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so let's record again, and we'll go do the internet. Actually, let me start it one more time. So we'll have the phone in view. Want that for B-roll, right? And we'll hit, actually, what I should probably do is set up a recording directory. And we'll do Plugable dock. And you know, the thing with this is that these things tend to be very labor intensive from a review standpoint because there's so many things you have to look at with them. So let's hit record, and we'll just go visit NASA's website. What's funny though is that this feels as fast as some of the cheaper computers that I review. Pretty cool. Neat, neat, neat. Look at all this stuff on here. Pull up the Play Store, get that going. Good stuff. All right. Oops, I wasn't recording. Gosh darn it. Let's try it one more time. Sorry, everybody. We'll be ready to go here. Okay, now I'm really recording, so let's do that. Hit this. Go visit the NASA website here. We can go check on Commercial Crew, and then we'll go over here and load up Play Store. Good stuff. All right, perfect. Samsung DeX, it works. Now, I think somebody wanted me to check a Chromebook. So let me do that real quick. And I have to go run upstairs and get the Chromebook, so I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves, because my daughter's been using this for school. So let me go grab that. Oops, it's over here. And I found with these things is that sometimes the Chromebooks don't work with the docks. But we will see. Now I've got the Pixelbook Go from Google. So if it doesn't work with this one, it likely won't work with any of them. Let's take a look. All right. Oh. So, and after this, I got one more thing I want to do. And then I got to get tonight's video up and running. All right, hang on. Let me just clear out of my daughter's web browser. So here's the Pixelbook Go. And we will thank the S8 for its service. And let me check and see if the Amazon thing is working yet. Nope, not yet. Okay. We'll just shoot the review tomorrow on Amazon. Okay, so I'm going to plug this in. And let's see. So it is charging. But, you know, it's doing what, yeah. So let's see if it, oh, there it goes. Okay, it is working. Perfect. All right, so we got the Chromebook connected. And let's see if the USB is working. I don't think that is, because we have the keyboard hooked up. Yes, I'm not getting the trackpad here working, so that is not working. The display is working. Now the other question would be whether or not the Ethernet is working. So let's take a look and see. Yeah, Ethernet. So that is working. Now I wonder though, because this device is, so her account is managed by the school district, so I wonder if they don't allow USB devices to plug in. But this is my hardware, so I can log out of her account. Let me log into my little test account here and see if that works any better. So let me just switch over to me. So I'm just going to sign out of her, and I'm going to sign in as me and see if I'm able to get that to work real quick. All right, I'm missing a bunch of, wow, I missed a bunch of chats here. Okay, bear with me for 1 second, folks. I'm just going to catch up on some of the chats here. Thomas Woodford is here. Hello. I'll start putting up some of these little chats here. Ricky Jones uses this keyboard for work on digital signage and stuff. Yeah, these things, I have a bunch. In fact, I have two on my desk right now. This is the one I use for controlling my vMix software. You know, and I like them because they're good enough. And for, you know, for 25 bucks, You can't beat it. Sometimes they're like 20 bucks, and you get the keyboard and the trackpad. It's not Bluetooth. The K830, which I have, has that. And you know what I really like about them? It's so simple, but I really like the fact that you have the batteries back here, and the dongle, it stores itself in the little lid here, so you never lose the dongle. It's great. And if you have to buy a new dongle, the dongle will cost you as much as the keyboard does. So it's wonderful. And Eric's Variety Channel saw one of these at the thrift shop. Yeah, you can buy the dongles, but yeah, the dongles cost like 20 bucks or something. So it's good stuff. Stan's got one too, and he bought one 5 years ago when he was in Korea. Very cool. Zachary's got one at his church. And John likes all the USB ports on this dock. Yeah, there's a lot of them on here. So I got stuff plugged into it now. But all right, so as it turns out, my daughter's school was limiting the USB. So and that's what's neat about these Chromebooks is that her hardware is managed by the school district. It's a little dim just because it's the nature of what we're looking at. Her hardware is limited by the school district, but I can have my own account on it also. And I hope my wife has her password written down because I don't know what it is. So I'm about to get in trouble. So we'll have to come back to that. I'll make a note to make sure I include Chromebooks in my review as well. Chromebooks. Yes. Samsung DeX. Yes. Okay. So that's working. And the last thing I want to try is multiple 4K displays. And to do, I'm swimming in laptops. And this is, by the way, the Pixelbook. You haven't seen one of these. This is the best Chromebook out there. I love this Chromebook. This is it's from Google. It's thin and light. It's all metal. It reminds me of like the original MacBooks, the plastic ones from years ago, but it's metal. It actually has a really nice build quality to it. Great keyboard. This has the Y series i5, so the performance is fine. My daughter uses this for school right now. We're doing all the remote schooling, and she loves it. And it's great, and does all the Google Meets, no problem. That all works. It's got 2 USB-C ports, full service on either side, and it's very thin. Look how thin it is. See that? So it's a nice Chromebook. It's expensive, but it's good. Google sent this to us a while ago, but it's really, I like it a lot. I think it's a really nice piece of hardware. And the bottom part, I don't know if you all remember these things, but there was a product from Worlds of Wonder. It was kind of like a Trapper Keeper for school. It was like one of your school books, and it had the same kind of ridge. It reminds me of that. And there's a couple of scenes in Star Trek: The Next Generation where they were using those Worlds of Wonder Trapper Keepers there. It's good stuff. John Warshaw wants me to do a quick shout out to Marie. You got it. Let her know. She's live. How about that? Alberto thanks me for the PlexPass deal announcement. Yes, that was good. I heard they were doing it, and then I forgot, and then the email came this morning. I said, I got to remind people about that, because they only do it like once a year. And once you buy the lifetime one, you're in for life, so it's a good deal. Good deal for everybody. Casey's got the Logitech MX Keys Keyboard Plus. Mark Smith borrowed one from the library, a Chromebook, and it runs only in restricted mode and won't let you sign into Google. That's interesting. So there's a lot that they can do on the management side. And that's what's kind of neat about this is that I'm guessing the Microsoft ones will probably do the same thing. But when I log into it, I have my full Google account. But when my daughter's logged in, she's managed completely by the school district on the same piece of hardware. It's kind of neat. And it's been great for the school. So what we're going to do now is we're going to shift over to my home theater nook here, because I wanted to do a twin 4K thing. So I've got my 4K 65-inch TV over there, and we're going to take the 4K monitor over. And the reason why we're doing this is that I only have one small 4K display, so I need to kind of do both here. So we're just going to disconnect the dock briefly and get the monitor plugged in over there. And why are we doing this, Lon? Well, we want to make sure that we can indeed do dual 4K out of a Thunderbolt port. And I don't think I've got a laptop that supports that USB-C mode, so we'll be using a Lenovo machine that we're going to be reviewing a little later this week to do that, because it has Thunderbolt on it. So we're going to try that out. So I'm just going to plug this in real quick. Plug this in over here. And it looks like the FedEx guy is here. So I got to go run upstairs and meet the FedEx guy for a second, because I have to sign the document. So stand by, everybody. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Just give me 1 second, everybody. Let's wait for him to come to the door because he dropped it off already. Oh, good. I think that's... How's it going? Good. Good one. You too. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's why I have those cameras, because I knew when the FedEx guy was coming. And this will be something, I'll give you a hint. It's from Simply Nuck, and I think you all might be interested in that. Okay. There was a ghost in my room? Do let me know. We got a super chatter here from Jan Willem van Barneveld. €5. Thank you very much. I think those are euros. Yeah, €5. Thank you very much. Okay. So now we're going to go and hook this stuff up. And Handquake says, and why are we doing this? I don't know what we're doing. The royal we. Okay, let me go hook this stuff up real quick. So we're going to bring the dock over to the other spot there. And yeah, kind of a low energy stream today, but we're going to have a high energy one on Monday because we're doing another one of those Amazon things. So you want to tune in on Monday. I think I'm going at noon, and it'll be live on the Amazon homepage too. And I've got a good deal on headphones. So if you want headphones, Monday's the day. All right, so I'm going to plug this in over here. Hi, everybody. Through the magic of NDI, we are able to do what we're doing here. Okay, so we got this going. We're going to connect the display port here to the display port. Put that in there. And then I'm going to connect this HDMI cable from the TV into the second port. This will be kind of a neat test to see how it all works together. And I'm going to take this little dongle out here and put it back where it belongs before I lose it, because I had one that was missing for like the last 6 months, and I finally found it plugged into something. And you know, it's good to have good practices. Let's see if Amazon's working yet. Oops, still not working. Okay, we'll come back to that later. Handquake says noon Eastern. Yes, I think it is noon Eastern. I just have to double check, because sometimes we agree on a time and then they had said Pacific, so I'll probably send that an email and let you all know when it's going to be if you're on the email list. I have not seen, Joseph has a comment here about, speaking of NUC, have you seen the M15 laptop that will be sold by system integrators next year? I have not seen that. I would like to know more about that. I'll have to take a look at that. And this is what we're going to hook up to it. So this came in the other day. This is one of these new Tiger Lake machines. This is the Yoga 7. And by the way, I just got in the Yoga 9 leather. It's made out of leather. That one looks really cool. So we'll get to that one a little later in the week as well. So we're going to go hook this up over there. Now this is a laptop that has, I have so many cameras to switch from today. This one has 2 Thunderbolt ports, but we're only going to use one of them. So let us go over to the home theater nook. And I have to use my phone to turn on my television because I lost the remote, or the remote broke on that TV. So I have the Roku remote app. This is a Hisense TV that came in a little while ago. I got to contact them about all this. Okay, so now we're going to connect to the Roku app. Oh, wait a minute. The Roku thing's down today also because of the AWS problem, right? So we may not be able to turn this TV on. That's a problem. There it goes. Never mind. Okay. Devices. We're going to turn the TV on. Okay. Oh, it's been on the whole time. So how long has my TV been on for? Let me turn it back on again. Okay. There we go. So happy Thanksgiving. And now what we're going to do is take our single cable solution here and plug it into the laptop. And I might put this on the floor just so that we have enough room for everything. Okay. So now we've got that going. And let's go and, I think it's on HDMI 2 here. I think so. Let's see. Yep, there it goes. Okay. So now we've got that. Perfect. Sort of perfect. Okay. Oh, it's kind of flickery, isn't it? Is it going to hold steady? So that's a bit of a problem, huh? And the hard part here is that, what's the cause, right? So now we got to troubleshoot. It's flickering. So why is it doing that? So let's unplug the display port and see if that rectifies the HDMI. It doesn't. So now we're going to unplug the HDMI. And we'll plug it into this port. And HDMI can be very finicky. And it could be we just have a bad cable here. So let's unplug that. And I've got this other cable here. Okay. Oops. So we'll plug this back in here. And I think if we go back to, now that one's flickering a lot too. And the question is it the TV or is it the cable? Okay, that's better. So it looks like that might have been a bad cable. Okay, so now let's take the display port and plug that into the other port and see what happens here. All right, now we got 3 displays up. So the first thing we got to do is check all of our display settings. And let's take a look at those. I mean, this is definitely running at 4K on the big screen here. And right now, 1 and 3 are mirrored. So it looks like it's mirroring the, so I could do that. And the question is on this one, does it support, yeah, so this one only supports 2 displays. I think, let's see, actually maybe not. I think it does, yeah. I'm not sure what it does, so hang on, let's take a look at the displays here. Oh yeah, look at that, okay. Perfect. So, what we can do here, I don't know what I can see on screen or not. I'm just trying to get enough cable length. So we have 3 displays going here. Oh, I just turned off the TV by accident. Okay, so now I want to record this in a second also. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to move this over here. And I just want to check my shot over on the computer. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so let's hit record here real quick. Oh, you know what? You weren't even watching me doing this, were you? Okay, so let's hit record here. Sorry, everybody. I think I was giving you a view of nothing. All right, so now you can see what I've got set up here. So we had a little bit of an issue with the cable, but what I wanted to do was have this display kind of roll from one to the other. Nope, let me fix this again. So 1, 2, and 3. So these two, that's 2. Okay, let me switch these around. Okay, so we're going to switch that one that way. There we go. So that's 2, that's 3, and that's 1. Okay. And so we've got one on DisplayPort, one on HDMI, and then the laptop's internal display. So if I do, okay, so what I want to do is kind of just keep going to the right. And that's how we're going to do this. So we got this. There it goes. This is 2. Hang on. One, 2, and 3. This is weird. 1 is, yeah, why is it doing that? See, it should go from, that's now 2. So if I move this here, identify, that's 3. So it should go 1, 3, oops, it's over here like that. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, I didn't apply it, that's why. Okay. So let's grab this. All right, so now we're on 1. And see, it should go, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, we've got 3 distinct displays here, so that's good. So here we are, there we are, and there we are. Okay. Good. All right, so now what I want to do is just stop recording for a second. Ow, just stepped on something. And, okay. That is good. So yeah, sorry everybody about the display issues there. You know, it's live TV, as they say. Okay, so now what I want to do, I should have brought the MacBook over with me so I could look at that. So now what I just need to do one more thing here, and that is to check what the displays are set to, just to make sure that that's all working correctly. So let's go over to Advanced Display Settings. So display 1 is what we know. Display 2 is 60 Hertz HDMI. Yep, we're good. 2160. And then the Ultra HD. Yeah, good. So they were running 4K 60, no problem. So there you go. Perfect, as they say. So that mission is accomplished. So, so what did we do today, everybody? We checked out, we checked a lot of the boxes here. So the only thing I have to really do now is I just have to figure out, yeah, so there you go. You see how it all works over there. So I just need now, let me watch that real quick, to run the iPerf test on the network, which I can do tomorrow when I shoot the video. And let's just play that back real quick. Sorry, you have nothing. Yeah. So okay, so what I want to do is kind of just keep going to the right. See, it should go from, yeah, I'll find something that works from that. Perfect. Okay. So here's a comment about captioning. This is a good comment. I don't know if, I don't think it can do, yes, I don't think I could ingest it. I mean, I guess I could bake it in or something, but they don't have a way to do that. So there you go. All right. Well, I think I got most of what I wanted accomplished with this. I'm just going to go grab it real quick and just show you one, for those of you that tuned in late, just to show you what, oops, oh my goodness. Just to show you what's on there. This place is such a mess. I just haven't had time to like do a full cleaning, you know? It's just like everything's disorganized and disjointed and all over the place. I moved from one project to the next. I still got to get tonight's video published. The good thing is it's shot and edited and uploaded. I just have to get all the metadata typed in and sent to all the different places. But let's turn the TV off. And the Roku TV, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's you know, the problem with TVs, and I reviewed that 65 that you see over there. I reviewed that one. Is there a Lego on the floor? I don't know. If I stepped on it, it hurts. I reviewed that one about a couple months ago. And you know what's nice about it is that the stand it can be put into two different configurations. So I have it for the stand for the shorter TV stand. Because I almost had to buy a whole new TV stand for it. And I didn't have to, which is great. So that's what I went with. And it works nicely. The problem with any TV for me now is that upstairs I have the OLED TV, and when you have an OLED TV, you're ruined for everything. So that is that. All right. Has everyone seen a Lego? I don't know where the Lego is. I must have stepped on something. I don't know. You tell me. So let me show you the ports on this thing once more before we close out. So what I think is unique about this dock are a couple of things. First is that it's USB-C and it is Thunderbolt. So it worked on both. We tried that, no problem. It also has 4 connections for displays, although it only supports 2. So you have the choice of DisplayPort or HDMI, or in what we just demoed, we did HDMI and DisplayPort. The choice is yours, 1 of each. Good. Gigabit, 5 USB ports. Great. Other side, 2 USB 10 gig ports, shared bandwidth, no problem. Card reader, headphone jack. All good. And you get your connector here. And again, it's going to come with the Thunderbolt 3 cable, but if you plug this into a USB-C device, it just works. So that's good. And then you have your Kensington lock over here. So it is really cool. So there you go. Mark Dell wants to know, did I get a, let me pull up the thing here. Did I get an NT Noir? No, I didn't. I didn't because I have the original NT, and I was very satisfied with that. But my friend got one. In fact, he bought 2 of them. I don't know why he bought 2. But he's getting his in the next couple of days. He had come up to visit me before all this stuff happened, and he and I played Rampage on the NES for 4 hours straight. So it's good stuff. Mark Dell said, I got to try it on the Spectrum next then. Yeah, that's the next thing we got to plug into it. Abid is wondering if I have any plans to test the Plex server on Iris Xe. I probably won't be. Actually, no, maybe we will, because I am going to do a video on the new color grading, and we may as well try it on one of those. I don't think the Xe is going to give you a significant advantage over a non-Xe because it relies on QuickSync more than it does on the GPU. So John's wondering, did I try the Philips Sync Box? It's another dimension. What is the Philips Sync Box? Let me look at that real quick. Philips Sync Box. Oh, that's another thing, huh? What does it do? Oh, it syncs your lights on screen. Ooh, that's cool. I'll have to try that. Yeah, Matt Robinson has a work laptop with only 1 USB-C port. Yeah, that's what's great about these things. So upstairs, I have another Thunderbolt dock upstairs. And so when I go upstairs with my MacBook, I just plug it in and I get everything just lights up. And that dock, now the difference, the one thing that I don't like about this one is that it doesn't have the Thunderbolt pass-through. But if you're hooking up via USB-C, it doesn't matter. But what's nice about this, because it works with both, is that if you, because I think the future is going to be that you're not going to have a permanent workstation, right? So you're going to have a place that you go to plug in. And what's nice about this is it'll work on a USB-C computer or a Thunderbolt computer, and you get the full, the full slate of ports. The display output's a little more limited on the USB-C side, but we'll have to test them and see how all the other things work as well. Super chat from Pankaj Kumar. thank you very much for your super chat. Been following me a long time. Thank you very much for the kind words. I appreciate that. So this is a good little device. I like this one for sure. Matt Robinson wants to know, will it work with a longer Thunderbolt 3 cable? Yeah, I think if you can find one, it will. Any Thunderbolt 3 cable should work with this. So there you go. PSA, get your Roku devices now. Picked up a 4K stick for $30. Ultrabox is $70. Good deal. So yeah, they're going to be selling those things pretty well this holiday season, I think. Yeah, we did a 4-hour Rampage game on. Yeah, and part of the problem was that we figured we would finish it, and then like it just kept going. And then we were so far into it, we're like, we can't stop now, you know. And my friend, his name is Antonio. He's a good friend of mine. We hadn't caught up in a while, so we just played Rampage and caught up. It was fun. I miss when people could come and visit. Shelby Thomas, yo, hello to you. And John, thank you. We will see you very soon. And I'm going to probably head out here in a second because my children and my wife will be home soon. And I got to get tonight's video locked in for release. And tonight is all about the, let's see, which laptop should we talk about tonight? We're going to talk about the Surface Laptop Go tonight. That will be the subject of tonight's video. And I am quite happy with this one. It's a good one. It's a nice little Windows laptop. So we will be checking that out. So, yep, that is the game plan. And hopefully we'll be back tomorrow because I've got a couple more things I need to try out on this. So what I didn't do, we need to run an iPerf test, and we also need to do some disk speed tests on both Windows and the Mac. And the reason is that we're going to test the speed of the USB port on Thunderbolt and on USB with a display attached. And that's something we're going to need to do when I shoot the video tomorrow. So that is what we'll be working on. Although tomorrow's Thanksgiving, isn't it? So I probably have, I don't know, I might shoot it tomorrow or Friday. We'll see what happens. We don't have anybody here, so we're just doing a small family, just immediate nuclear family, as they say, right? They don't use that word anymore, the nuclear family, do they? So wife and the kids, 4 of us. And we're going to drop off some food for the family all over. And Thomas, thanks me for the update. Yeah, so today I did a video this morning. If you haven't seen it, check it out, because the HD Home Run Prime, the 3-tuner, not the 6, but the 3-tuner is back. It's like a limited, they must have did a limited run of them. And you can get it on sale, $50 off, I think. So good deal. And by the way, this dock we're looking at, if you click the link down below, you can get $50 off this dock. And I think this is a great dock. It really is. If you want those ports, it's good. So definitely check it out. Abid is asking if I've checked out the Plex server on a J5005. I have not. I don't think I have a J5005, although I just got in something that I think you all are going to be very interested in from Simply Nuck. Okay. All right, everybody. Ishmael says thank you, and take care, everybody. Fist bump. All right. Okay, everybody. I'm going to head out here and get the video going for tonight, and we'll be back again maybe tomorrow, but definitely Friday. And we'll be finishing up the video about this dock because I've got the Amazon thing already locked and loaded. So we'll kind of do a repeat of this, although I'll be shooting the video for this, and yeah, it should be fun. Okay, everybody. Thanks you all. Thank you. Thanks you all.